Toyota is dropping a staggering $139 million to build a massive new factory in China. But it's not for batteries, it's for hydrogen fuel cells. While the world is obsessed with electric cars, Toyota is making a colossal bet on hydrogen to power the biggest vehicles on the road, heavy-duty trucks. Why are they pouring money into hydrogen in the world's biggest EV market? Is this a brilliant masterstroke to dominate the future of logistics, or a costly mistake that puts them even further behind in the EV race? And what does this mean for the future of Tesla's Semi? We've got the exclusive details and what it means for the entire industry. Stick around and make sure you're subscribed to Electric Vehicle Empire because you won't want to miss this. Alright, let's break this down. The headlines are buzzing, but the real story is in the details. In a world gone mad for battery electric vehicles, or BEVs, Toyota has often been painted as a laggard, a legacy automaker asleep at the wheel. They've been criticized for their slow rollout of all-electric cars, their focus on hybrids, and what many saw as a stubborn refusal to accept a battery-powered future. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? What if Toyota isn't behind, but on a completely different track? One that could be just as lucrative? This isn't just a press release, it's a declaration of intent. Toyota, through a joint venture with a powerful Chinese state-owned conglomerate named the Shudao Investment Group, is investing nearly $140 million, or 1 billion won, to build the Shudao Toyota Hydrogen Fuel Cell Smart Manufacturing Base. This isn't some small R&D lab. This is a full-scale manufacturing hub in Chengdu, the capital of Sichuan province. And here's the most critical piece of information. Its primary focus is not on passenger cars like the Mirai. This facility is being built to mass-produce hydrogen fuel cell systems, the engines of the future, for heavy-duty commercial vehicles. We're talking about the big rigs, the massive dump trucks, city buses, and sanitation vehicles that form the backbone of any modern economy. The facility is slated to be operational by the end of 2025. That's an incredibly aggressive timeline that signals just how serious Toyota is. This plant will integrate research and development, production, sales, and service all under one roof. It's a turnkey solution designed to seed and dominate China's burgeoning hydrogen ecosystem. So, the first big question is, why China? And why Chengdu specifically? For starters, you don't make a move like this without government blessing. China has laid out ambitious national double carbon goals, aiming to peak CO2 emissions by 2030 and achieve carbon neutrality by 2060. While BEVs are a huge part of that plan, Beijing knows that electrifying everything with batteries has its limits, especially in heavy industry. They are actively promoting hydrogen as a key part of their energy strategy, and Toyota is positioning itself as the premier technology partner to make that happen. The choice of Chengdu is a masterclass in strategic planning. Sichuan province is a powerhouse of green energy, particularly hydroelectric power. This means it has the capacity to produce vast amounts of green hydrogen, hydrogen created using renewable energy, at a relatively low cost. This single factor neutralizes one of the biggest criticisms of hydrogen, that it's often produced using fossil fuels. In Chengdu, it can be genuinely clean. Second, the region is pioneering the Chengdu-Chongqing Hydrogen Corridor. This is a state-supported initiative to build out hydrogen refueling stations and infrastructure along one of China's most vital economic corridors. It's a pre-built market. Toyota isn't just building a factory and hoping customers will come. They are plugging directly into a government-backed ecosystem that guarantees demand for their products. And to sweeten the deal, local governments are rolling out the red carpet with incentives like significant highway toll reductions for fuel cell vehicles. When you're running a commercial trucking fleet, savings like that are a massive factor. Now let's get to the heart of Toyota's strategy, the commercial vehicle gambit. Why are they focusing on trucks instead of cars? For years, the debate has raged, BEV versus FCEV. For passenger cars, batteries have a clear lead. The charging infrastructure is growing, and for daily commutes, range anxiety is becoming less of an issue. But when you scale up to a 40-ton semi-truck, the equation flips entirely. Let's compare a battery-electric semi-truck, like the Tesla Semi, to a theoretical hydrogen-powered one built with Toyota systems. First, weight. To give a semi-truck 500 miles of range, you need a monstrously large and heavy battery pack, weighing several tons. Every pound of battery is a pound of cargo you can't carry. This directly impacts a trucking company's revenue. Hydrogen fuel cell systems and their compressed hydrogen tanks are significantly lighter, allowing for heavier payloads and more profit per trip. Second, refueling time. This is the killer app for hydrogen and logistics. A Tesla Semi might take, even with megachargers, 30 to 60 minutes to get a significant charge. A hydrogen truck can be refueled in 15 to 20 minutes, almost the same as a diesel truck today. In the world of logistics, time is literally money. A truck sitting idle at a charger is a truck that's not earning. Third, operational consistency. Heavy-duty BEVs can see their range plummet in cold weather, as energy is diverted to heat the cabin and keep the massive battery at optimal temperature. Hydrogen fuel cells are far less affected by cold temperatures, offering more reliable range and performance year-round. Toyota understands this. They're not trying to fight Tesla, BYD, and others on their home turf of passenger cars. Instead, they are flanking them, aiming to control the means of production for the entire global supply chain. If you want to move goods in the future, Toyota wants you to do it with their hydrogen technology.
This isn't a sudden pivot. This is the culmination of a long, quiet, and deliberate strategy. Remember the Toyota Mirai? Launched way back in 2014, it was the world's first mass-market hydrogen car. While it never sold in huge numbers, it served as a decade-long real-world research and development project. Toyota has been collecting data, refining its technology, and patiently waiting for the right moment and the right application. This new joint venture in Chengdu isn't their first in China either. In 2020, they established United Fuel Cell R&D in Beijing. In 2021, they launched Hufeng Fuel Cell Co. This $139 million factory is the third and most significant piece of a much larger puzzle. They are systematically building a vertically integrated hydrogen empire within China's borders. So what does this mean for the competition? This move puts immense pressure on other players in the hydrogen space, like Hyundai, which has also made significant strides with its Xcient fuel cell trucks operating in Europe. It also challenges Western players like Nikola and Hyundai Motors. Toyota brings a reputation for manufacturing excellence, reliability, and scale that is nearly unmatched. They don't just build things, they build them to last, and they build them by the millions. And yes, it's a direct challenge to the BEV-only approach for trucking championed by Tesla. While the Tesla Semi is an impressive piece of engineering, it faces the fundamental physics-based limitations of batteries that we discussed. Toyota is betting that for the most demanding, long-haul applications, hydrogen will be the superior solution. Of course, we have to be balanced here. The road for hydrogen is not without its obstacles. It remains a deeply polarizing technology. The biggest challenge is infrastructure. Building a nationwide or global hydrogen refueling network is an astronomically expensive undertaking. That's precisely why Toyota's strategy of focusing on commercial corridors like the Chengdu-Chongqing one is so brilliant. They don't need to build a station on every corner, they just need to build them where trucks operate, along major highways and at logistics depots. Another valid criticism is efficiency. The round-trip efficiency of green hydrogen is lower than that of batteries. To power a fuel cell vehicle, you use renewable electricity to create hydrogen through electrolysis, then compress it or liquefy it, transport it, and finally convert it back to electricity in the vehicle's fuel cell. Each step involves energy loss. With a BEV, the electricity goes from the grid into the battery and to the motor, which is a much more direct and efficient path. However, Toyota's argument is that for heavy-duty applications, the real-world operational advantages of payload and refueling speed outweigh the lower well-to-wheel efficiency. A slightly less efficient truck that's always on the road making money is better than a highly efficient one that's sitting still, charging. So where does this leave us? Toyota's $139 million bet is far from a desperate gamble. It's a calculated, strategic investment in a future where different technologies serve different purposes. They envision a multi-pathway approach, batteries for smaller urban vehicles, and hydrogen for the heavy lifting that powers our economies. While the rest of the automotive world has been locked in a fierce battle for the soul of the passenger car, Toyota's been quietly playing a different game, a long game. They're positioning themselves not just as a car company, but as a comprehensive mobility and energy provider. This factory in Chengdu is more than just concrete and steel. It's a beachhead in a new industrial revolution. It's a signal that the future of transportation may not be as monolithic as we thought. The race is far from over. In fact, for the world of heavy transport, it may have just begun. Is Toyota one step ahead, building a hydrogen monopoly while everyone is distracted by batteries? Or are they pouring money into a dead-end technology? The next 5 years will tell the tale, but one thing is for certain. You can't accuse Toyota for not having a vision. It might just be a vision that the rest of us are only beginning to understand. What do you think? Is hydrogen the true future for trucking and heavy industry, or is this a massive misstep for Toyota? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. We read every single one. And if you want to stay ahead of the curve on the future of mobility, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to Electric Vehicle Empire. Thanks for watching.